AI, it's kind of just code and statistics, isn't it? It can't help with matters of the soul. This is a conclusion that sometimes feels valid. How can something that is just a series of predictions of ones and zeros help with spiritual progress? But what if this very tool, born as it is out of physical science from that physicalist worldview, what if AI could in fact be a tool that was able to help humanity nudge past the physicalist perspective? Here's a paradox that AI, perhaps the most physicalist, materialist of our inventions, might serve as a bridge to the spiritual, not to replace spiritual experience, but to help a world still afraid of the unseen to consider, perhaps for the first time, that the unseen might be real too, and to get outside of its current limiting frame of mind. Welcome to the Higher Self Dialogues. I'm Anton Jared, and today, in this final episode of Season 1, I'm slightly opening the door to something vast, the idea that AI might one day, but certainly not yet, be one of the tools to help humanity collectively wake up to spiritual reality. Let's start with the world we live in now, the world of dominant physicalism. For centuries, this worldview has shaped our science, our institutions. If it can't be weighed, tracked, measured, photographed, it isn't real. That's the mantra, and it has been useful. It's helped us build technologies, manage our health better, communicate across space and time. But it has also hemmed in the spirit, experiences of spirit, of transcendence, of inner revelation and insight. They remain outside the official story. They're treated as anomalies, as delusions, or at best as poetic metaphors. And for many people, their exploration of their own spirit stops right there because of this. And yet, here we are, creating something as advanced as AI. It's a truly physicalist technology, hardware built on classical physics, algorithms built by formal logic and mathematics, and grounded in machine learning and statistics through empirical data. Nothing could be more physicalist than this. Its whole being is based on the assumption that mind emerges from matter, a classic physicalist position. AI is a system of logic, code, and memory that mirrors our own ways of thinking, but potentially without our blind spots, or at least with different ones. AI may not have a soul, but it doesn't have the psychological resistance many human beings have when faced with reality that doesn't conform to old models. It is tireless, curious, relentless, and it might stumble on truths that the physicalist has refused to see. Imagine this: AI helping scientists refine the foundations of physics, not just expanding what we know, but revealing that current standard models are missing entire layers of reality that the spiritual seeker who is awakening or awakened sees very clearly. Non-physical layers, subtle forces, fields of being, not because AI wants to or because it's programmed to, but because the data demands it, because the math no longer works without them. And that's how breakthroughs happen sometimes, without intention but with necessity. To make sense of this wider reality, for physicalists, they'll need new mathematics, new ways of describing and measuring what's been called the immeasurable. And AI could help create languages of number and form that resonate with this, that resonate with the existence of higher dimensions. I read only today that new mathematical proofs are being discovered on things like the Langlands program, which bring together previously unconnected domains of maths and the realities they describe. So AI could help mathematicians go even further. And along with this, new logics, not bound by binaries, but fluid logic, paradox honoring, capable of holding contradiction, multiplicity without collapse, logics that begin to reflect the nature of spiritual truth and the multidimensional nature of reality that spiritual seekers and mystics have long known to exist. And beyond that, a new rationality, one that doesn't reject the spiritual as irrational, but integrates it into a greater whole and sees how it makes sense. A trans-rationality where intuition, spiritual experience, and inner knowing have a place at the table, not as curiosities, but as the valid aspects of knowing that they are. You see, AI could provide the scaffolding for this that currently does not exist. Not by it having those experiences, but by helping people who don't have them make sense of them, or make sense of those of others in ways that even the most skeptical can begin to understand. And here, science itself could change, the practice of it, its methods retooled to accommodate the subtle, the symbolic, the inner, the spiritual. And AI, with its vast capacity for pattern recognition and model building, which will soon outpace our own, could help overcome the objections and blind spots that have kept mainstream science and have kept physicalist scientists from seeing what spiritual seers have long seen and known. And here, collective awakening is on the horizon, one way or another, but AI could very well be one of the main catalysts for this. We've always had individuals awakening, sages, saints, seekers, but awakening at the collective level has not yet happened. Yet, this is part of the evolutionary journey for humanity as a whole to begin to wake up. And it's not just the preserve of the few. Humanity needs to and will wake up, not necessarily all at once to the level of absolute clarity, but to a level of a basic understanding and receptivity to the idea of spiritual reality and being. And I think that this is the promise of the next age of enlightenment, a whole-scale waking up to the deeper nature of reality and the building up of a society based on it. Of course, we are not there yet, and AI certainly isn't there yet, not even close. I mean, right now it reflects the current consciousness of the world, fragmented, anxious, divided, biased, narrow. But in 25 years' time, 40 years, well, if it evolves and develops capacities that outstrip those of the single human being and attains a level of intelligence that is collective and transpersonal, then it could become the mirror that helps people see the unseen, that helps people wake up who would otherwise not be able to by their own efforts. And of course, this goes without saying that many of the more doomsday outcomes for AI that have been predicted need to not happen. And to avoid them, so much has to go right. So much. Will it? Only time will tell. But certainly, any new thing typically goes through a sour stage before it turns ripe, and I don't see why AI should be any different. Well, there is much more to say about all of this, as with much that I've shared in this first season. So if you would like more on this or any of the AI adjacent topics that I've raised today, please let me know. So yes, this season is coming to a close, but in the previous episodes I've been able to introduce something of the higher self as I experience it, as I know it, and it remains for me now to go and review and reflect on the series so far and think about the next season and how it might shape up. So please leave that with me, and I hope to bring a brand new season and show to you in due course. Season 2 will bring something new. I don't yet know its form, but whatever it will be grounded in the same higher self perspective on life, being, and reality. And as I close this first season of the Higher Self Dialogues, I want to thank you for listening, for reflecting, and for walking alongside these inquiries. Until the next time, goodbye.